Hey, Richard Bryce here, Tennis Hacker. In this video, I want to explain what the #1 technical problem is that I see from 3.5 and 4.0 level players. Now, where this is coming from is last week I ran a free workshop. There was around 700 people registered. I was teaching players how to use brain-based training to improve vision and to improve coordination. But on the first day of the workshop, it was all about how to structure your practice properly so that you can develop high-level techniques. So a lot of players were sending in videos for analysis, and there was one problem that was more common than anything else. So that's what I'm going to be talking about here, as well as how to solve the problem to help you develop much higher level technique. Hopefully you find the video helpful. If you do, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel before, always much appreciated if you do that as well. So when it comes to technique, there is a lot of variety. When you watch professionals play, when you watch college players play, high-level juniors, 5.0 and above adults, you see tremendous players using different forehand grips, different forehand preparations, swings, follow-throughs. Same thing, we've got single-handers, we've got double-handers, we've got variety on their serve. So there's a lot of variety within technique, but there is one thing that's absolutely universal among all high-level players. And it's universal not because it's a nice added extra thing, it's universal because it is the foundation of all high-level tennis strokes. All strokes are built on this. But when you watch 3.5 players and 4.0 players, the vast majority of them aren't doing this, and they certainly aren't doing it consistently, and they aren't getting the timing right. And what I'm talking about here is the split step. All shots start from a split step that's landed just after your opponent makes contact. The reason that you're landing just after your opponent makes contact is because hopefully by the time you've landed on the floor, you've been able to read where the ball's going, so then you can quickly move to start and to set up in the right position. Because tennis is a game first of getting to the ball. The better the position that you get set up in, the more likely you'll be able to hit a high quality shot. Also, if you don't get set up in good positions, it prevents you from developing optimal biomechanics. The positioning, the spacing, that side of things comes first. And by the time you get to the 3.5 and the 4.0 level, you understand how the technique works. But I find most players are just focusing on things that aren't important. So they're focusing on, why is it that I can't get the racket lag? What's going on with the timing? How come I'm not able to sequence my kinetic chain properly? And how come I'm not able to get power and hit through the ball? They're thinking about all these different things, but when you watch them, the positioning, the spacing's not there, the footwork's not there, and that began by not doing a split step. Record yourself practicing. See whether you do a split step, because some players, they do a split step when they're practicing, but then when you watch them playing matches and they're not doing a split step. And people wonder why. Well, I play okay in practice, but then I can't play well in matches. Well, the reason why is because in practice, you're concentrating on the footwork, you're doing the split step, and then when it comes to playing the points, when it comes to playing the matches, you stopped doing that fundamental, foundational thing that's the start of the movement and the start and the preparation of your stroke. So record yourself. Are you doing a split step on every single shot or not? Because if you aren't, that is the #1, the only thing to focus on until you can do it. And now I've said that, you need to understand how to work on your split step, because that's something that a lot of people don't understand as well. The timing is the key piece. You're trying to land just after your opponent's made contact. And that means you have to think about when you're taking off so that you can land just after your opponent's made contact. And that's something you have to train yourself to do very, very consciously. You have to watch your opponent shaping up for their shot, and you have to think about when you're going to take off from your split step in order to land at the right time. So depending how high you jump on your split step, that's going to be a factor. Now, generally the higher the split step, the faster you can react, but that's going to depend on how strong you are as to whether you're able to do that or not. But you do have to factor in, okay, how long am I going to be in the air for? When do I need to take off from my split step? Do I need to take off as my opponent is starting their forward swing? Do I need to take off as my opponent is taking their racket back? And that's going to really depend on the opponent that you're playing, when they take their racket back and how abbreviated their swing is. Like if someone has a big loop on their forehand, you might need to start your split step as they drive through their hips and as they initiate the forward swing. If you're playing someone that's got a really compact backhand, maybe you have to start your split step as they take the racket back, because they're just going to go boom, boom, and you need to have timed that so you land just after contact. So this is the stuff you have to consciously and deliberately think about, and you have to think about it with all of the opponents that you're playing against, and it's going to take time. This isn't a miracle fix that you'll think about it for 2 weeks and it'll be done. You have to develop the habit of automating thinking about the split step. So just like any other skill that you're learning, you have to go through 1,000 repetitions, the cognitive phase, where you're really thinking about it and really reminding yourself to do it. And that's probably going to happen in practice where you're rallying with people. But then you have to challenge your ability to do it. And that's going to start to happen in points. But it's going to take you, quite a long time in order to be able to do it without thinking about it too much when you're playing points. So sounds scary, but we're thinking like a minimum 3-month project, but probably more likely a 6 months, maybe even a year project. But I promise you, it is the most important project and thing that you can take on if you're around that 3.5 and 4.0 level and you really want to become a better player. Because tennis just doesn't work the way that most people think it does. It's never going to feel beautiful and easy like the way Federer makes it look. It is about reacting to your opponent's shot, getting set up in the best position possible, being as fast as you can around the court and getting the ball back in play and making your opponent feel as uncomfortable as they're trying to make you feel. And that always, always, always starts from a well-timed split step. So get out there, record yourself, find out whether you're doing a split step on every single shot. And if you're not, leave me a comment and let me know, and start working on it. Now, if you would like to attend my next workshop, I'm holding one in a couple of weeks. I'm going to be teaching players how to use brain-based training to improve vision, to improve coordination, so that they can become more skillful. Because in order to play higher level tennis, you have to see and move like a higher level tennis player. So I'll place a link to the workshop down in the description. Click on that link, it'll take you over to a page where it's going to tell you more about it and you can register. Okay, any questions or comments, leave them down below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.